Just me. A place to be me, where you get to experience life. 'Cause life is a journey, not a guided tour. If you want the rainbow, you have to go through the rain. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us. Last episode, we discussed money. We discussed concepts around spending our money, what retail therapy is, and how emotional spending can really impact our wallets. Today, we're going to dive in a little deeper and talk about how people view money and how previous experiences, whether it's during our childhood or even within our adult lives, can control how we behave with money, how we see money, how we use money, and how we value money. So let's go ahead and dive right in.
One of the things that I want to do better, and I know that some of my colleagues have wanted to improve, is the way we think about our money, the way we want to address our money. Because to be honest with you, there is an intimate relationship that you have with finances, and how we have grown up seeing finances and learning about money and how we treat money definitely impacts how our money is going to work for us in the future, and how that also impacts our long-term stress. Because finances, there was a report that said that not 66% of Americans address financial stressors as one of the top stressors in their life. So again, 2024, we're not running from stress. We are addressing it. We are problem solving. We are finding solutions. We are solution oriented. We are resilience driven. So we're going to figure this stuff out. All right. And we have financial specialists, financial literacy individuals, and coaches, Mr. Anthony and Yolanda Bleman, and they have their own financial wellness business. And so they're going to be here sharing some insight as we have this conversation. Welcome back, guys.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So the first question that I kind of have is, I've been seeing, as I've been doing some research, been seeing the term money mindset. And what they have said, what articles have said is that money mindset is a set of beliefs that you have built up since your childhood about money, wealth, and success. And from you guys' expertise, what have you seen as beliefs and attitudes as we grow up? How does that impact how we deal with money in our adulthood?
Well, I'll start because he's looking at me. Just me personally growing up, I was never taught to save money. Never taught to save money, but I was taught to work and make my own money. So I did once I went to school, went to college, but even on my summer breaks, I had to come back home and work. And that's how I saved up money. But we decided to try to teach our child something different by, opening him an account, saving money every time he got birthday money, put it in your savings account. And the goal there was to teach him to save so that he would have money, whenever he needed it for anything, any emergencies and things of that nature. Did we kind of fail in that area? Yeah, we did a little bit. And the reason why I say we failed in that area, because once he got old enough, he was like, oh, I'm old enough. It's my money. I can do what I want to with it. And he just decided to spend it all, and so I was like, okay, mission failed. But that just gave us, fuel and the avenue just to try to switch things around. Like, how can we be better stewards over our money, and so that we could teach others how to be better stewards over their money, and teach other generations after generation to be better stewards. And again, that came into with having multiple streams of income, but also just reading what the Bible said, and and sticking to what God said about what we should do with our monies, and just trusting him with it. And in doing so, I learned to, well, we learned. We learned to, tithe, and this is, our beliefs, but to tithe, and also, to put money aside. We have a couple of different accounts. We have accounts for bills, and we have accounts for just savings, but we also have our business account where everything done with our business, runs through there. But we also, have envelope system. And with the envelope system, that's where you're, in case an emergency come up, that it's over and beyond what you may already have in the bank account. And you may have that, okay, I know I got this here at home, and you don't touch it. Like, sometimes when we have money, growing up, what's the saying where it's like you have a hole in your pocket because you have cash on you? Oh, I got to spend the cash. But no, you don't always have to spend the cash. We have several $2 bills. Those are rare right now, but maybe they'll be of value one day because they're so rare. But just small little things like that, just to help, with how I grew up, just to change how I grew up with learning how to deal with money. My mom and dad, we never saw them dealing with money issues. To me, that's a kind of a disadvantage to your child, because once they get older, how do they know what to do with money issues if we don't teach them? So
yeah, we just did an episode on I got it from my mama. So, and that's some of the things one of the things, the good, the bad, and the ugly that you see and don't see. So when you just shared like how it was for you growing up, during those episodes, I had mentioned for me, because my mother, she had a side hustle. It was her job, because physically, she couldn't work medically. So, she did different things, and she was a gambler. So I was always around money, and money came from everywhere. So the concept to do all that, wow, money coming. It don't matter. I don't have a hole in my pocket because money's coming. And that Flow Rider song that says my mind on my money and my money on my mind. That was life, because it was, as long as I have money, it's like I'm good. But because of my own experience and not being a good steward, I know what it is to have money, not to
have it, right?
And to have money, do the wrong thing with money. And then when you get to the position where now it's like, I've made enough mistakes. I don't want to make those mistakes anymore. So the next thing I can do is, like I said, when we talk to you guys and y'all start talking about some things that it was like, oh, I'm glad I got that in place. Ching ching. Like Tracy, you are moving, but when you talk about the financial literacy, knowing what you got, where it's coming, do I need to make some changes because I only have one source of income? That what if that happens? Stress is on the way, guaranteed stress.
Right.
Absolutely.
That, you can put things in place. So it all, when we're talking about the mindset, and it's all goes back to really how you view money. Parents, again, save and know. Father worked, money always came in on Fridays. He got paid every Friday, so we knew money gonna be on Friday, so you could blow it all up on Thursday.
Right.
Mama game Saturday and Sunday. If it was good, you ain't had to do nothing during the week because she made enough.
Right.
Absolutely.
When it comes to teaching the kids, the same thing. Why? Mommy and daddy got it because they always given, so they didn't know the concept of you could save a little, but mommy and daddy doing everything. So I think it's really important, especially those that have children or plan on having children, to raise them with that. Don't make the same mistakes you made, and we can
exactly,
because again, to make a difference generation to generation, if you can change the mindset now, then the next generation is going to look different and better. So, and I know your son, and I know he just being little freedom right now, but he got the system and the things. When he lost enough money, he's going to remember some of those rules and like, let me get some envelopes because I saw it work for mom and daddy.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Right now, he's just worried about buying shoes.
Right.
So
Right.
And
And
all the
that,
good ones
and
come out, all the good ones out.
yeah. And Tracy, you made a great point as far as the mindset, because we're always trading hours for dollars. And just another health analogy, when we get in a good mindset about health, we use food for fuel, right? So we should use money as a tool. And what do we do with tools? We use them to build. So with the money that we have, we need to understand that the hours for dollars is only going to give you enough probably for that week, maybe another week. But if you start turning it into asset, make your money make money for you. Then you're able to build an asset to where you'll have months of money in a week's time span. You'll be able to stretch that financial band so you're not stressed out. So I think that that's a little bit of a better mindset, but we all grew up, work 40 hours a week, go ahead and get your paycheck, then repeat. But nobody ever tells you, okay, you can do things with that money. Mutual funds and everything else is great, but you have to be smart in how you put it in, the percentage rate that they're taking out, because it's all relative. So you have to be really smart with your money and where it's going and how it can either expand or it can deflate like a balloon.
What else, thinking about, you said you guys mentioned your son, and I know that they're through generations, perspectives about things change, values change. Within a household, a value can change from one person to another. So you guys have put a lot of value in tithes, and church, and having that spiritual connection, but someone else might put it in something else. And I think about the younger generation, where their mindset may be with social media, maybe around different things. So how do you think that, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but how do you think that society and the culture and that impacts maybe different age groups and what money mindset really, really means for them?
Well,
is it okay
and
to be invested in shoes at 15?
Right. That's true. And it, like you said, it all just depends on that person and really that generation or the millennium, or what are they called now? Gen X and
Gen X, Gen Z.
Gen Z. Yeah. So it really all just depends. Like I have some of my team members at work that I supervise. They're young, they're actually younger than my son, but their mindset when it comes to money is different. So it's, to me, it's all in that person and what was instilled in them or what they decide to take from it. Because it's not that something wasn't instilled in them, because I, like Tracy said with Anthony, he's coming around, he's like, okay, yeah, I gotta make sure A, B, and C is paid before I can get these shoes now. But it's all in that particular person, like, okay, what do I find important? What's more important to me?
And they I'm sorry, they can be in the same household. You got one that got it and one that don't.
Right.
A few weeks ago, I actually ran into, she's a senior, and she's been probably working maybe like 2 or 3 years. And she said that she saved up enough money to buy a car. $5,000, and most 17-year-olds, they not thinking about it, like, and she said, like, she works, and she literally said, I take $100 out of my check for myself, and everything else I put in the bank so I can get the things that I want. At 17, I'm looking at her like,
right.
Like, what? But now the brother, that's a whole different story. It's like, oh, anybody got a nickel? So
it's more about instant gratification.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And I know earlier you said, oh, we failed. I was like, I don't think you failed, because
No.
they get to choose, and we all have that choice. The
Yeah.
information, and again, I appreciate y'all sharing and dropping these nuggets, is out there. And even with some of the stuff, I'm gonna go look up some more stuff because I'm curious now. And if I can go out to help shift the way I'm thinking, the way I'm spending, I know I got a long way to go, but I sure don't look the same way I did 10 years ago, you know.
Right.
But if I had the mindset that I have now, I know these hands went through $1 million easily.
Exactly.
Investments, like just throwing it away, not educating myself to say, "Who $2 could have made me 20,000, and here I is, I lost 50,000." You know, so it's a lot out there, and so I really appreciate too in this topic about the mindset. But it was one word out there that really bothered me trying to get my life together when it comes to my finances, and that's the word budget. I'm having an attack right now. Budget. How is budget and the mindset? I can tell you it was stress on this sister right here. One, to be disciplined in it, but knowing the advantages and stuff now, because now I can, is one thing of making one, and it's another thing of following one. It's easy to make one, but following it. So can you talk a little bit about a budget and how that mindset of budget and setting goals?
Yes. Well, it's different. Of course, first of all, there's different techniques to budgeting. Sending yourself reminders, the envelope method that Yolanda was talking about, having and adhering to a budgeting app. Biggest thing, cutting your expenses, and then creating savings with a goal and a timeline. You always want to keep in your mind, okay, this is what I want to do, but this is the amount of time I want to get it done. And then just keep setting small reminders, checkpoints, and goals, and then really just build on what you have. Now, is it going to be instant? Nope, it's not. Is it going to be a little bit difficult at first? Yes, because you're building a habit. And usually they say it takes 21 days to build a habit. So, give yourself a month to get used to the budget that you have. Yeah, are you going to break down? Are you going to give in sometimes? Yes. But know that the end goal is to have more expenses so that you can do the splurging a little bit bigger on the other end, not just right here.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Say it took us a minute to, like, I have a budgeting book that I like to write in and keep up with the expenses, like an actual book where you write down all your variable and variable expenses is expenses that fluctuate. So let's say your credit card bill goes up and down. You'll put those in that area. And then there's the fixed expenses, the expenses that are going to be the same every day. Every month. Like your car payment, that ain't gonna change unless
until you pay it off.
Pay it off.
Until you pay it off.
Or now if you have a fixed mortgage or adjustable mortgage, then of course that'll change. But it's learning how to be very specific to the T of your money, of what you spend. I know I eat out maybe twice a week for lunch. I'm gonna put that in my budget because that's money that I'm allocating towards towards my lunch. I now have a team of 6 people that I supervise. Now that was a budget shocker to me because I was like, I gotta get y'all Christmas gifts. I gotta buy y'all something for Valentine's. It was a shock. I don't love y'all like that.
Listen, it was a shock to you. It was a shock to me. I said, wait a minute now. When did we get 6 different kids? When did this happen?
I like too. Y'all are a couple and y'all are doing it together because we know that again, finances can be a stressor within a relationship. And for a couple to be doing it together, on what accord, whether it was expected or unexpected, is really good and healthy. Again, I did it to myself, guys. I said that word that made my stomach upset, and it was budget. And then y'all said something about a goal and a timeline. It was like, see, Tracy, you ain't got it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my goal and timeline. So when we talk next week about budgeting, I just might have something to work with. But I do appreciate, this is really, 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 really good. Mindset and mental wellness. Because again, like literally, like everybody's stress, anxiety, and everything look different. So I know what my finances are. I know the direction I want to go. So I'm excited because it's like, whoa, girl, you're doing good. Until you said goal and timeline. It was like,
but you want your money mindset to switch. So you have to actively do the stuff needed in 2024.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right.
So I tell you what, if you listen to this episode, you better be back for the next episode because we going in about budgeting for sure. So thank y'all for joining us, Anthony and Yolanda. Y'all just don't know. I don't know if y'all do individual packets, but somewhere toward the end of this episodes, please be able to share with others if anybody want to contact y'all for coaching, information, or however y'all want to help, because I know y'all are servants and would love to get people from whatever state they in to a better state. So thank y'all again, and we look forward to talking with y'all on next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Take care of yourself so that we can take care of each other, guys. See you next time.
The financial recommendations offered by Bleman's Wellness may not be applicable for all listeners. If you have any doubts as to the merits of future financial recommendations, you should schedule a private consultation or seek advice from an independent financial advisor. The information offered on this episode is for educational purposes only. Thank you so much for listening to Just Me Therapy podcast. If you are seeking further one-on-one diagnoses, interventions, and treatment plans, please consider scheduling an appointment with an individual counselor at Journeys Counseling Center, located in Greensboro, North Carolina. Journeys can be reached at 336-294-1349. The mission of Just Me Therapy podcast is to use authentic conversations to uplift one's mind, body, and soul. The goal of Just Me Therapy is to offer affordable education and insight to individuals who experience financial barriers to accessing individualized behavioral health care services. With that being said, the information, including opinions, advice, and recommendations discussed in this podcast, are intended for individual, informational, and educational purposes only. Such information is not intended to substitute the recommendations of your own licensed therapist or healthcare professional. Although we are licensed behavioral health professionals, we are not your licensed behavioral health professional. As a result, the advice mentioned on this podcast should not replace the recommendations offered by your own qualified health professional.